Heidi Ho music fans, Steven here from the Aroundtable. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'll be talking about the latest album from the one and only Alice Cooper. It's simply called The Road. We'll go with the basics 13 tracks. They say one cover, Magic Bus, but there's Road Rats Forever, which is him redoing one of his old songs from a 1977 album called, I think, Whiskey and Lace and Whiskey. Lace and Whiskey from 1977. So I'm taking it as two kind of cover tracks on there. Produced by the one and only Bob Ezrin, who's well known for producing Pink Floyd, Kiss, and of course some of Alice Cooper's biggest albums, Killers, Schools Out, and Billion Dollar Babies. Bob Ezrin is back on board. Like I said, he has found this great balance of making the album sound crisp and clean, but it sounds raw and dirty all at the same time, like the old school, like Killers and stuff, like the Killers album. Very down and dirty and raw, but yet clear and crisp. You hear all the instrumentation in its glory. This time out, Alice Cooper, instead of taking outside writers and doing things on his own and having, studio musicians come in, he's decided to take his touring band, who is made up of Chuck Garrick, Tommy Henriksen, Ryan Roxy, Nita Strauss, and Glenn Sobel to play on this album, co-write with him some of the tracks, and basically taking their energy or their energy from a live show, put it into new songs, and do like a live in the studio take of these tracks. So live in the studio feel, getting their energy and bringing it out there onto these new songs. Does it work? Yeah, it's a great sounding album. Everybody's on fire. There is no weak links on here as far as I'm concerned. Um, I'll be honest. When I first heard the first track called "I'm Alice," I didn't like this song. But now fitting in, hearing the whole album, I really enjoyed this. So I'll read you some of the lyrics here. This is what's got me. The beginning, it says, I know what you want, I know what you need. Something unworldly from another breed, created just for your lust with exquisite control. A thing you can trust to satisfy your soul. It takes more than a mask to make more than a thrill. To complete the task, it takes a special skill. A little bit of this and a sprinkle of that, with a dagger and a cane and a silk top hat. Alice in his glory. Fantastic. Nails it. Then the song goes on. I love it. There's a spoken words here that I really like, and this captures our fascination with Alice to a T. I accept your adoration and I revel in your fear, but it's your imagination that has brought you here. So here's the revelation, and let me make it clear that I am your creation, and now I disappear. Love that. Fantastic. It has become one of my favorite songs now. Didn't like it in the beginning, but in context of this album, I love it. And talking about this album, it's called Road. They say it's a concept album. I'm going to say it's a theme. Road is mentioned quite a bit. It is, I guess, Alice's and his roadies and his crew and the band, their experiences with life on the road. But there's no like major storyline. There's songs, and it keeps mentioning the road and being on the road, and but I wouldn't say it's a full-fledged concept album in my opinion. I'm saying it's a theme. Overall, I like this album. I think it's I'm not going to say it's a masterpiece, and I'm not going to say I won't say it's a classic album. I'm going to say it's probably in the upper echelons of Alice Cooper albums, but I'm not going to say it's his best. What I miss on here is the darkness from some of his other albums like Paranormal, even The Eyes of Alice Cooper in the early 2000s, Welcome to My Nightmare. There was that madness, that other take of Alice that I miss. And it's not really here too much. And that's what I think is missing, in my opinion, is that darkness from Alice Cooper. It has his wink and a nod to, like there's a song called Big Boots, which is not really, it's a girl's big boots, but we all know what he's really mentioning. Life on the road is basically him giving you the keys of successful life on touring and not becoming a part of the 27 Club, like the Jim Morrison, Amy Winehouse, who died at 27, who didn't pay attention to the rules of the road. Um, it's got his clever lyrics. I enjoyed it, but like I said, it's that darkness that I miss sometimes, and there's not really too much on here about that. There's a touch of this, but it's a touch of the darkness and yet sentimental on this the one of the ending tracks called 100 More Miles, which is one of my favorite. And I think the other quibble I have, that song is a slow burn, and all the songs are about 3.5 minutes long. So it's in, out, rock your socks off, and move to the next one, which is great. But that song, I think, for a slow burn, should have been a longer song. Should have been about 5 minutes long, and really nail that. There's a chorus that 100 miles really would have nailed it for me. There's some glitches on there, and I think it's because he wants to go hit that song, move to the next, and I get it. But like on a tour, on stage, there are some jamming sessions and some of the songs that will extend and be longer and change the groove and the vibe. I think that's what's missing off here. He's showing how good they are. The band is great. He's great, but that darkness is missing, and some of that looseness of being live on stage is missing. And especially on a song like that, that's a slow burn, should have been extended. I think they kind of missed the ball. That could have been a classic Cooper track. It's a great song, and it's just missing that little something. And that's what's happening with this. It's missing that darkness, and yeah, the darkness, like from Welcome to My Nightmare, Welcome to My Nightmare 2, The Eyes of Alice Cooper, Paranormal Activity. They have that darkness that Alice Cooper is known for, that duality in his character. He's got that sarcastic side and he's got the dark side. He does the sarcastic side here and the wink and the nudge to things, but it's that darkness that's missing, and that's one of his biggest things of his character. And like especially a song like Alex, which kind of brings it there, that he doesn't continue on with it. So that's missing on here, and that's my minor quibble. Favorite tracks, Alice has become a favorite. Welcome to the Show, fantastic. Hope that would make it great in a live show. Any of these songs here are designed to be played live and sound great live. I really liked White Lion Frankenstein, which Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine is on there. Fantastic. I really liked the 100 Miles. Baby Please Don't Go is a nice ballad about that you're about to leave on tour and your partner says please don't go, like you're going to be gone for almost a year, like and this is going to be hard. I really like it. It seems very genuine. Alice Cooper knows how to make a ballad and make it sound sincere, so I appreciate that a lot. The other one I like is The Big Goodbye, would have been a great 80s rocker, a great 80s anthem on there. So I'm going to say I enjoyed this album. I thought I wasn't, because when I first heard the first track, I said, not liking this at all. But as you hear the album as a whole, it really hits you how good this is. His band is on fire. What's missing is that little darkness that Alice Cooper is known for. And then this would have been probably the classic album that I think we were looking for. It's still a great album. Like I said, it's in the upper echelon of his catalog, for sure. For sure, I would say maybe the top 10 list of his records. For sure. But it could have been like a top 5 if he would have brought that element into this. And I think that's what's missing off this record, that darkness from him. If it would have been 1 or 2 songs about something dangerous on the road, like hitting somebody on the road or something, or he's seen an accident on the road, something, that would have then changed this whole album for me and put it up there. Is it a great album? Yes. If you're an Alice Cooper fan, you will like this. But I don't think anybody is going to say that this is his masterpiece. But it is a great album. And he doesn't have to prove anything. And he does that. He can still bring out great product. So all in all, great album. Missing some things, my minor quibbles. I said like 100 More Miles should have been longer. It's a slow burn that should have lingered a little bit longer. And that darkness factor that he's known for. should have been on here, and it's not. But all in all, still, again, like I said, and I'll repeat it, the upper echelons of his career, of his albums, of his studio albums, for sure. Probably maybe in his top 10, for sure. Okay, top 10, top 12, let's say. This is not any fan will be embarrassed to buy, and he will not be embarrassed to play or support. And that's my take on it. You will let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any favorite tracks? I'd love to hear from you. If you can, I would greatly appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe. This is Steven with my take on Road from Alice Cooper.